Hi. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about food addiction within eating disorders. I have 3 shorts on it. If you want to go watch just a minute-long video, this will be 2 to 3 minutes. But in the world of eating disorders, there's another world of addiction and food addiction models, and they usually clash. So if you're a clinician watching this and you're in the field, you might know of it. If you're someone that's not in medicine or not a clinician in behavioral health, mental health, psychological health, psychiatry, this might not be of interest to you, but it's an interesting conversation because you see a lot in like layman articles or just articles that you would read in a newspaper or a magazine that will talk about, is food addicting? And when you look at actual substance and the definition of addiction, there's very clear medicine and physiology in addiction model. And the interesting part is you can live a really healthy lifestyle sometimes without those substances. So to get someone sober, there requires sometimes a detox, there requires medication, there requires support to go from an addictive pathway to a sober pathway. And sometimes it's very hard, very rocky, but you can live a sober lifestyle without those substances. When it comes to food addiction, by definition, there's a proposed diagnosis called, the acronym is UPFUD, or ultra processed food use disorder. And it's not an official diagnosis. There's not much data on it. However, lived experience with patients, they're very strong, and lived experience can sometimes be so powerful. Because as a clinician, when you can believe someone and you can understand their experience, that is healing in itself. But when it comes to research and defining a clear model and determinants and factors that you can measure, it's a little bit more difficult. And so for clinicians, there is addiction models within food aren't a real thing, is what I've heard some clinicians say. And I've heard some clinicians say it's absolutely a real thing. Look at the brain. And then people with lived experience are absolutely, it's a real thing. And so food addiction has been compared to, I've heard it being compared to different substances, and that's the addiction model, looking at reward pathways and the circuitry of the brain. The book that I'm writing with a co-author, he's an addiction physician medicine. He's in addiction medicine as a physician. And even the research that he's been presented with in the eating disorder world, he'll say that it's very well thought out. A lot of work has gone into it, and recognizing to get a DSM-5 diagnosis, a lot more work has to be done. So when you're in a room with someone, and sometimes their most vulnerable states, telling you their story, believing them is more important than identifying a diagnosis. However, for more resources and treatment centers to be more available, a diagnosis is needed. And so I can see, if you take a step back, I can see why there's conflicting evidence. And I think at the heartbeat of it is science is ever evolving and we don't know everything. And so being open to new definitions and new experiences is so, so important, while making sure we're not stomping on the heart of our clients. Hope this helps.